Hi, my name is David Johnson of Illinois Swimming. Today I'm going to show you a little bit of the officials tracking system in regards to entering information for officials that have recently worked a meet. First thing that we're going to do is get into the officials tracking system and select meets and evaluations. From there, we're going to select the dates of the meet. In this case, I'm going to choose a recent meet. I'm going to check the LSC. And then I'm going to search for meets in those parameters. In this case, I've come up with a meet here called the 2016 Illinois Swimming Maverick Roundup Novelty Meet. I'm going to choose to edit that meet. And it's going to bring me into the information regarding the sanction of this meet. That's what this first tab of meet information shows us. There's a lot of information here in terms of who is sanctioning the meet director, the sanction number, the facility, and then who is the meet referee of record. Down below is the meet referee's report, and I'm going to show you a little bit of that, of how Illinois Swimming uses that a little bit later. But for now, we're going to move on to another section. Let's suppose that you're the meet referee for a large meet, such as a state championship, a zone meet, or larger, where you're going to have a team lead chief judge that's going to assist you with the entries for the meet. Well, normally they wouldn't have the access to be able to get into the meet and add officials and track their work history throughout the meet. You can actually do this by setting up a meet administrator. Let me show you how to do that. So you're going to click on the Meet Administrators tab, and then you're going to come down here to where the hyperlink for the Add Meet Administrators. Click on that, and then you can search for a meet administrator that's working your meet. And here I'm going to bring up an individual, add some parameters around that. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to search by those parameters. It's going to return to me some information. I'm going to choose the person that I want to be a meet administrator for this meet. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to click on Add Selected Administrators. And that's all it takes. Now, as I return to the Evaluator Administrator list, you'll see that the person that I selected now is falling under the meet administrators. What we've done now is we've given this person the rights to go into the meet, and they can edit information in regards to the officials. So now what we want to do is we want to add the officials that worked our meet in the various roles that they performed in and the number of sessions that they participated in. So how do we do that? Well, we're going to do that from the Officials tab. So we're going to click on this tab, and it's going to bring up some information, and we're going to click on Add Officials. And from here, we can start searching by particular officials, or what I find to be really advantageous and to save time is to click on the LSC and then select the LSC, and then I enter the club code, and I can then search by that club. Now, before I get too far, I need to know what officials performed in what role, and taking that information from the sign-in sheets, I find it very easy to put together an Excel list. So here's what I've done in regards to an Excel list, and this contains every official that participated in the meet by session in the columns and the role that they actually performed. So now that I have a list of officials in their capacity in my Excel list, I'm going to translate that information into OTS. So I'm going to scroll down to the previously searched list of officials, and I'm going to add a couple just to give you a sight of how this works. So I'm going to choose a couple people here. And then I'm going to add them. So I come up here and I click on Add Selected Officials. And what's going to happen now is it's going to show that these officials have been added to my meet. So I can start entering session information regarding to these officials. So this is where we're going to actually enter in the information in regards to the particular sessions that these people participated in. So in the first example, I have Sean Barrett. So I'm going to look for him on my list. So as I go through and I find Sean Barrett, I see that he participated in 3 sessions, one as a starter trainee, one as a stroke and turn official, and another as a starter trainee. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to enter information in regards to him. So I have one trainee or one starter session or stroke and turn session, and now I'm going to enter in and I'm going to look for XS and enter 2 because that's what he did. And if you're not sure in terms of the abbreviations in terms of work positions, you can actually click on this little plus sign down here, and it shows you all the different positions in regards to their codes, from stroke and turn here to starter, and then finally here for Sean that he was an apprentice starter, so I've entered him as an XS. For Jim Bay, we're going to look and see what his history was. So Jim Bay started 3 sessions. So for him, really simply, I can go over to the starter column and enter a 3. For Duraj Bhargava, I can actually add him as the meet referee. Now he was a meet referee for the entire meet, so I'm going to add him for 4 sessions. For Sandy Carpenter, I need to look and see where she participated, and she was the administrative official on both morning sessions of the weekend. So I'll add her as the AO, put her down for 2 sessions. And Tony Chen will be next, and I see that he was deck referee for 4 sessions. So I will add him here. Once I'm done entering all the information that I have on the officials, I do need to click Save. And it's just that easy. That's everything. And that's what it takes to enter officials' information into OTS. Now, I've gone ahead and finished up all the session information for all the officials. I've entered them in, and you can see that I've gone in and have all this entered, and you can see that I had a number of officials for this meet, so we had pretty good staffing. The last thing that we need to do is a pretty much an Illinois specific item that we do on the meet information screen. Down here within the referee's report, we're asked to summarize the number of officials that we had, the session times for each session, and the roles of the deck referee, the starter, and an AO that participated in that session, so that we can ensure that we're in compliance with Rule 102.10. So I've gone ahead and pre-populated that from a template, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take that information, I'm going to copy it here, and then I'm going to paste it into the meet report. So now what I have is I have for each of the 4 sessions of my meet, I have the start times, I have the deck referee, a starter, an AO, and a number of officials. And again, this gets me in compliance with Rule 102.10, so Illinois Swimming can track that we were in compliance. That's all I have. Thank you very much.